Season 2, Episode 4. Hello! Welcome to another episode of We Talking About Between.
I have another legal pad full of notes.
This episode did make me happy. I watched it today, so I'm a little fresher than usual.
Fresh. That's good.
I forget how it started. How did it start? No, I remember how it started. So it starts with our boy getting shot.
Starts right where we left off, with Gord getting shot. But before that, and this is actually, I remember there was a Green Day song where instead of saying I do this and I do that, Billy Joe changed it to like he does this. Put it in like the second person at the very least, you know? And I feel like this show has grown in a similar minute way. Because it doesn't open the way every other episode opens. It opens with this weird voiceover cold open thing from Adam. And he says, my name is Adam Jones, and this will be my last day in this hellhole. And then it like comes up and like recaps quickly like the events.
So funny thing.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the characters' names, and I didn't know who Adam Jones was. And I inferred by the end.
Who's this guy? Who's Adam Jones?
Adam Jones. I'm like, is that the doctor?
The minute he said Adam Jones, I'm like, his last name is Jones? This is bullshit. But, yeah, so...
not to waste any time, Gord's dead. Yeehaw.
Well, okay, Gord's dead. That's awesome. However, did you go along the same roller coaster as I did? Because in the last episode of this show, we said Gord was shot, but they just shrunk Wiley's tumor with the weird serum stuff. And my conclusion was, they're, somehow, because they're nowhere nearby, somehow they're going to get him to the clinic and they're going to inject him, and the bullets are going to, like pop out of them.
They got him to the clinic in time because
you
could hear the gunshots from where they were.
Gunshots from where they were.
Real quick to break timeline. Later on, there's a gunshot in the clinic, and Wiley does not run over because she didn't seem to hear it.
I know.
Back to where we were just talking about.
No, I know, and that. I hate to nitpick, but this is nitpicking the show.
Yes,
and
the show's bad.
And like,
well, if we're gonna nitpick and get out of order,
go for it.
He puts our criminal friend who breaks out of the jail, who murdered the son of Regina. Was that her name? The one the militant leader, or whatever girl.
Renee's younger brother.
Renee. He murdered her brother, and then Gord's sister finds the backpack, and that's what starts this whole thing. And apparently he placed the backpack in the church, like, for fun?
Yep.
The fuck?
I know.
That shit's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And happens to be on the one security camera. And then Gifford's going to keep listing things that are stupid and horrible.
Go for it.
So they go to check the security camera, which is locked with a key lock on a fucking thing from the outside, and when they open the door, there's a dead body inside. How did he get in there? Did someone lock him in there? Is the priest keeping people hostage?
He starved to death.
He starved to death. Yes, but he had to have gotten locked in there.
I have no idea what's going on in this show at all.
The show's bad.
This show is bad.
And even in the best case scenario, say he was not locked in there. That means he had to have gone down there and then died of natural causes while the door was locked. Like,
I thought all right, I'm not going to claim to know exactly how that door works. I feel like the key was on the outside, and from the inside you could just do something to open it, or no?
I thought it was like a
think it's
lock.
Like a padlock?
I thought it was a padlock.
I didn't catch that. It didn't trigger anything for me, and I just assumed whoever was in there was over 22 and died of unnatural viral causes, or whatever.
What's bothering me right now, the thing that bothers me most, is I remember that some part of the episode, and I can't remember at all what it was my most annoying moment possible.
Oh, I don't have that yet.
And I'm hoping that you'll say something that will trigger it. But I remember I repeated it. It was like a line, I think, and I repeated it backwards to myself aloud in the presence of like my girlfriend watching the show who's never seen an episode before. And she's like, and I'm like, it's so bad.
By the way, what did she think?
She's like slept with the whole thing.
Okay.
She thought it was shit.
That's good, because sometimes I wonder if we're being too harsh or whatever the fuck.
This is the most convenient, bad, garbage writing shit show ever. And somebody commented on I think our last video saying, no, season 2 is bringing it back. And I was like, you're a fucking idiot.
I remember after like the first episode, I was like, this is a bad show. This is like a TV show. And you were like, it is a TV show. And I'm like, no, but like back when TV was bad. Like TV's good now. Everyone forgets TV used to just suck. It used to just like, we have 22 episodes. There's going to be an alien at some point. I don't know. And they would just like do a fucking TV show and be like, oh, they're going to date now, but they're not. All this dumb shit. It's been 53 days. Adam has the voiceover. I can't live like this. We're like animals. Blah, 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 blah. Liam.
And then it cuts right to Liam when he says caged animals to a caged animal.
Liam the doctor gets a fucking, well, that's at the end, yeah. Liam the doctor gets a text, you've been compromised, you have to be extracted. It sets off this whole fucking thing where there are arrows where people come back together later on or whatever.
But you think he's compromised because of that argument they had in the last episode, but really he's compromised because Adam touched the walkie-talkie cell phone thing, period.
Yeah, so Adam is like on his way back to confront Liam for working for a pharmaceutical company, which I don't even know why that means. He can't have worked with his dad or what the hell's going on.
How old do you think Liam is?
The actor?
The character is supposed to be over 22 at least.
Okay. I have no idea. I'm not good with ages.
So, just to talk out what I think the character might be.
Go for it.
At one point, Liam, that's the doctor's name?
Liam the doctor.
Liam the doctor says, like, in these essential words, I was sent into areas as a sweeper or a cleaner-upper or whatever to fix these impossible scenarios and cure diseases and whatever. So, like, you're led to believe either he's probably a prodigy at what he's doing, which is the only real explanation because he's young at the very least. He's over 22. We know that because he needs injections. I would put him at like 28 maybe.
Yeah, I would have said 26, something like that.
26. And how old is Wiley? I know she's a mother, but that doesn't mean you're old. She's in high school at the very least. I don't even know if she's a senior.
I don't know either, and I had a similar thought that's in here somewhere.
At the best case, she's like 17.
I don't know.
Maybe 18.
Were there statutory rape allegations when she was, impregnated by the dude? Or did that come up? Maybe she is 18 or 19. Maybe that's like...
No, she's in high school.
I don't know, man.
I believe...
Weren't they all graduating or something?
Were they graduating?
I have no idea.
So she's 17, 18 then, if she's graduating.
I guess.
And this, like, 27-year-old doctor's like, can I buy you coffee, miss, who almost died of a tumor?
It's pretty amazing. No, and he doesn't just say, like, they sent me into stuff. He said, like, in, like, my former life, I was doing this. As if, like, now he's doing this for a while.
Removed, yes.
And, like, before he did this other thing for a while.
Yeah.
I did some things that I'm not proud of. I did some wet work or whatever the fuck.
I'm 38.
Actually, 38 and a half.
You're 12. Let's do this.
That's pretty good. So to like carry that whole thing through, how we got to that point was like Adam comes back and he's all like, no, what the fuck, I know all about you. And Wiley's like, no, we gotta do this. And Chuck is like, wah. They go through this whole thing at the hospital and they end up parting ways to go on various like separate quests or some shit.
Let's talk about Chuck's quest.
Chuck's quest was my favorite, I think, of possibly the whole show.
Chuck's quest is just to become a belligerent moron and drink himself stupid and eventually fall into a glass table.
He got like the kind of hateful, like angry drunk where you start to drink and you're like, I'm not even getting drunk, this is crazy. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm so drunk. He was like freaking out and hearing voices and smashing shit in his room and all that stuff. It was really weird.
He falls into this glass and then like it cuts away almost immediately. And I'm like, he's dead.
Yes.
Like anyone who's ever broken glass knows that like you get cut pretty bad. Whenever you see like these videos where people like in TV shows usually fall through these things just like and it's like safety glass and it splinters into little beads and does nothing. This didn't do that because it was a real glass table and
well, and even like, dude like punches a window. Like, like the glass above where you punched falls like a guillotine and slices open shit.
Or
like,
doesn't and you rip through it.
Well, yeah, either way, I'm just saying like it's like yeah, so he just and he's super drunk. He's unconscious, just laying there bleeding for the whole episode, essentially.
Yes.
But good on him.
But that was my like. I'm like finally some realism when they cut back to him. There's a good amount of blood on the ground and nobody coming for him, and he's been drinking heavily, meaning he's bleeding out very fast.
Yeah, and he was potentially
hoping he's dead. I would love. Please let him be dead.
He can't.
He's not dead. No, he's gonna be cured by the virus.
Right? They're gonna inject him, and he's gonna Wolverine. He's gonna stitch closed magically all of his wounds. Yeah. No, like I don't like. I would actually love if he were defeated by this glass table and his own inabilities to cope with like the situation. Yeah. That would actually be interesting, which is why I know that they can't do that.
Oh no, they're not doing that. But I would love it. But we wanted it for Gord. It happened for Gord.
I was actually just gonna say, Gord is dead though. And that's.
I thought up until the moment she put the white over his face, I was like, all right, and now they're gonna inject him.
I know,
like,
because like the doctor even like does like a weird look back thing, and I was like, that's him injecting him, and then even up to the point where they say, let me go pay my respects. I totally.
You thought he was gonna be
I
like
told-
there, sitting there?
and like expected like, oh, the serum finally worked or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Some crazy.
Such a weird
bullshit.
thing, though. Let's pay our respects. Just a convenient way to get them back there.
100%.
Knew the whole time
100%.
she was going to kill the other lady.
100%.
Franny kills Regina. Obviously, if you've watched the show and then watched this, you know that.
Her name is Renee.
Renee, whatever. Regina, Renee.
And let's take a quick step out just to talk about Ronnie and Renee.
Sure.
And the saga there, because Ronnie, Ronnie and Renee are not doing well. She like tells him to piss off. He comes back and catches her in a shipping container full of treats.
Which,
full
how
of
no one
goodies.
has ever caught her there. So weird. The property's only so big. You're trapped in a town. You'd think
Yep.
you'd investigate everything anyway.
Super
and
weird.
And she goes in there and doesn't, like, shut the door from the inside and lock it. She just,
Nope.
just goes in. There's a compound of, like, 40 people at least. Somebody's going to follow you one day. How often do you go there? And it's your birthday. You know people are dying. Like...
And she like she knows that she'll die that day, and maybe that's why she went in there and she doesn't go in there a lot. But no, still super weird. I thought the whole thing was super weird.
Liquor.
As you do,
Yeah.
when you go into your seat, and that's like her secret stash. It's like enough, like if the Walking Dead people found that, they'd be like, holy shit, all
Yeah,
this
we're
food.
set for life.
It's like so much food. It's really weird, and cans upon cans of something. But
But then
she-
Ronnie just gives it up, and now they probably use it in 3 days.
I thought that was really weird too. So like, okay, more shit happens. The other characters end up going there. There's a whole fucking thing. We'll get more in detail in a minute. But so Renee ends up no longer in charge of that. They end up escaping, going back to the hospital. She gets injected.
She was traded. Ronnie
well, yeah, there's
traded
a
her
whole-
for an
yeah.
injection. He gave her away, and now it has power. Him and Lamar of this.
Which is a whole. So there's a
compound.
bunch of dead
Very
brother
weird.
stuff in this episode, which I'm actually sort of digging in a way.
I love that like, he's fighting his dead brother and like fucking himself up, and no one's like, "What happened to you?" And Lamar even watched it happen. He knows he's crazy.
Lamar is seriously weirded out by him, and rightfully so. But I actually liked Lamar. Maybe my favorite character. Lamar's having the most. He was like, "Hey, Ronnie, like, what the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "What?" Like this fucking thing.
But
like,
even your average person who's in this compound, as Ronnie's like giving this food away, would go like, "What happened to you? You've never left the compound. You're all beaten."
you're all beaten and cut up and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I know. But you can tell, because Lamar's actually acting, you can tell he's like, oh shit, what do I do? Can I just kill him? When can I kill him? What do I do? How does this
Yeah.
work or whatever? People don't really like him. They don't really like me either, though. Fuck, what do I do? Ugh. He's doing that whole, like, math or whatever.
Now Ronnie's gonna leave that compound at some point, or just fuck
Yeah,
it
he
up
can't
and have
just
to leave.
Well, he's already fucking it up. It's already this horrible thing. And like 1 or 2 episodes of this that you said something like he's a horrible actor or something like that. And I think this time when I watched this one, I was like looking for his acting, and he's a horrible actor.
He's terrible. He's
It's
the worst
actually
actor on the
pretty
show.
fun. For some reason, I think I just liked his character or something.
Now
like
the only
that.
one worse than him,
Um,
and you'll never see him again, was O.J. Simpson. He's a terrible actor.
Okay.
Terrible. Everything he says is such like hammering home that like military attitude for a guy who like went to military camp or something. Like I'm like, what the fuck? You're like 17. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he was acting at like a different character than his character
Yes.
was. Ronnie is just all over the place.
Yeah, Ronnie's just
I
a
don't know what's
bad
going on
actor,
at
so
all.
it's not consistent.
Yeah, no, but it's pretty striking. A lot of his like faces, the whole bargaining scene, and the whole fucking like,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna do this, and all this stupid shit. It's like, ugh.
No, it's such a because his confidence comes off as such a false confidence that it comes off as acting. There's no like if you're trying to bluff your way in real life, no one like says anything the way he's saying it.
Like it's not even an actor acting like someone with false confidence.
No,
it's someone. It's a whole another level.
it's a
down,
person
yes.
who's like clearly an actor, and there are no consequences. So when he says things, there's like, I might be reading so far into it, but that's how I picture it. Whenever he says something, I'm like, that's so fake.
The show's not doing him any favors with the writing.
The writing
and all
is
that
bad,
stuff, obviously.
but like I said in the last review, bad writing and bad acting is a no-no. You can't do that.
It creates a situation where we're like while watching it, you're like, I wouldn't have said that way. That's weird. And you're like, wait, why am I thinking about that? I should be thinking about like, oh, how's he gonna deal with this character or whatever. We left out some shit. There's a bunch of shit going on.
We left out a bunch of shit.
We did, so we kind of skipped to like the crescendo of this episode, which is another possible death with serum injections and all that business. But back to like the main kids, the Wiley, the Chuck, the Adam, and all that stuff. We talked about Chuck's quest. We've got Wiley and Adam and the stuff that they're going through. Do you want to take it away? You want me to take it away?
I started.
Long story short, Adam's not down with the whole situation. and conveniently sort of steps out, which leaves Wiley and Liam around to do all that flirting that we mentioned a little while ago.
And like, are they not together? I thought it was established that Wiley and Adam are like a thing at this point.
Their relationship is super weird, and
It's definitely rocky, but
it's not the kind of weird that makes sense. Because I think in one episode it opens with them in bed together.
Yeah.
Right? And then in some other episode they're kind of like, he's like, listen, yo, and there's all this. It's not weird in the way that feels like, oh, these people are dysfunctional. It's weird in the way where you're like, oh, they forgot they were a couple when they wrote this episode.
Yes,
like, it feels weird like
not
that.
bad writing.
I guess.
Because if there was a fight, they didn't show it, and it's a lot to infer as an audience member.
Well, because they have these moments where she's like, wait, you can't just do that, or hey, what about that? You didn't even ask me, and like they do those little things like that, but they're not really establishing. No. I don't know, like a lot of these episodes, unlike the other, like in the first season, each episode would begin with that sort of 24 like brrr, brrr,
yes.
like text, and it would say how many days or like weeks or whatever it had been, and we were covering a long period of time. I feel like this has all been on like the same day and a half or something now.
Yeah, kind
of.
We're
very tightly packed, so there's not enough time for some of these changes to have like taken place.
No, exactly.
And you're sort of like, where am I? What's happening? Is he still injecting himself every 8 hours? What's happening here?
No, that's super interesting. But then we have our convict, and he's locked in the closet.
Yeah, so they're doing the Shining freezer scene still.
Yes, but now they know that through the series of cameras and bullshit of checking out that he had something to do with it. At least he dropped his backpack. This backpack was the child's, and they can kind of figure it out. And at the very least, he's a person of interest. Yeah,
so Franny and Harrison, who've had that little kiss scene now, and
they're a couple. They're the most couple in this show.
Yeah, they've like bonded in their tragedy and mutual whatevers, and they have the scene where she's like teaching him how to shoot. Cause he's like, well, I don't actually
she's like
shoot.
A badass.
Yeah,
like,
well, because you go on a farm, you shoot stuff.
Yeah, but she like wasn't a badass with the tiger. She killed it, yes, but that wasn't a badass moment. That was
true.
And maybe she's flustered as a tiger, but I didn't get any of that. Like, all right, no. She's awesome, because even her brother didn't appear to be that awesome.
No, and it's sort of
he taught her.
Yeah, it's sort of like convenience and stuff too, but
it's always convenient.
They're molding them into this thing.
Yeah. And, she's fitting her role.
Right, and they're sort of doing the investigation thing. So sort of simultaneous. So like they talk to the convict. They sort of everyone knows everything now. They like explain stuff to each other, and he says like, I only put the backpack there because I thought it was the right thing to do. Was that the line that you hated?
Yeah, no.
I'm waiting for one of these lines.
I think the thing that I hated the most was the ask out the dating thing. That might have been it. That's the closest I can remember.
If we get out of here, do you think maybe...
You get a coffee? Are you really hitting on me right now? And blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'll get coffee with you.
It was literally that fucking cliche, stupid, cheeky, like, thing. And earlier with her, like, it's called small talk. I don't know if you... I can't do it as badly as she did it.
No, you have to go like... It's called small talk?
It's called small talk? I don't know if my jaw's wired shut. I'm just, like, trying to act, so I'm trying to do this thing. Oh my god, my kid. You can't just take my kid. I hate this bitch. I'm sorry. I don't know. She's famous, but so okay. That's okay. Everyone comes together at this compound. Mm-hmm. That's what we've been sort of jumping around, but slowly getting to. So Harrison and Fanny, now with guns, go there. Mark, the convict guy, goes there.
His name is Mark?
His name is Mark, yeah.
Jesus.
Well, it says Mark in here. I don't know. But they go, so like he's like, no, you're not coming with me. You're a little kid. This is ridiculous, which is kind of ridiculous because everyone now.
Yeah.
And so they obviously leave, but then go.
Everyone is a kid, though, in their defense.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, you really can't say, oh, this is for the adults to deal with. You stay there. And it's like,
this is for the 16-year-olds, not the 13-year-olds.
Right, you're 3.5 years older than me, you motherfucker. And like the actors and actresses are actually like 20 years apart.
Yes.
Like, regardless. So Mark goes there to try to like do his mission with a sniper rifle, which I guess is to kill Renee.
He was going to kill Renee, I think, to stop, because she was. The belief was she was going to kill Franny. At some point.
They said, like, you think she's just going to leave it at that? She's going to come back and finish the job. Which I don't even know if that makes sense.
I don't know if it makes sense, but also if you just murdered the leader of a rival group, you don't think they're going to come out like, they're at war with us.
Yeah, like if you want trouble to stop, I feel like you wouldn't take that. But
maybe just admit you killed them and then it'd be over, which you wanted to do anyway. So what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, he just wanted to give himself up, and now he's the guy going to potentially start more shit. The whole
Yeah.
problem was that he accidentally killed someone. Now he wants to go intentionally kill someone.
He didn't even accidentally kill someone. They 100% killed themselves.
He thinks he accidentally killed someone or something like that, or that people would think that he killed this person. But now they'll know that he killed this. All right. Meanwhile, Liam and Wiley are on a quest to find someone who's about to turn 22, so they can inject them. They can turn 22.
Which is so convenient. He has like 7 hours before he's pulled out of this town, and there's 2 people that have a birthday of that day of the 500 in the fucking place. Like, I don't care what the odds are. Like, oh, but there was over 365 people. Odds are one person with a birthday. Fuck you. You're an idiot.
No, it's a big cool because even if you just think about the logistics because it's not even just having.
Oh no, not even a birthday. It's a birthday turning 22.
Yeah, it's actually that.
No, it's impossible.
Exact birthday, which is a little weird.
And there are 2.
There's at least 2, or maybe just 2. I don't know.
I think there's just 2.
They searched every record, but yeah, there's 2.
That's ridiculous.
And they just barely missed the one.
And when he says he's still warm, I was like, he's gonna put the injection in him. He's gonna bring him back to life. He's still warm.
That was my first thought. As
Didn't
long
do
as
that.
As long as he's a little warm, I can still do it. Cut back to Gord for no reason. Oh my God, what's happened? So they go there because Renee and that's another super crazy convenient.
I don't know this address.
The character that they introduced this season,
Yeah.
the Renee character, the cult leader, the survivalist, the person who's been involved with Ronnie, the person whose brother happened to be, all these crazy connections, is the person who's turning 22 later today.
Yeah.
And they go there to try to get her. Mark's there to try to shoot her. Franny and Harrison are there to shoot people or whatever the fuck they're doing. They all sort of converge, and there's a bit of a clusterfuck, and that is how Renee and the Wiley.
Did it not appear as though Mark shot a silenced rifle up into the air?
It did.
It was like, phew.
It was like a phew, 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 not like a.
Yeah, like it got a lot of attention for something that wouldn't even been that loud.
Well, and someone's
and
like,
not even obvious.
And someone's like, why are you shooting? And like immediately, that's not one of our people or something like that. Some crazy thing where you're like, what do you? Oh my God!
Like, did not see him, or like it was not obviously a gunshot.
No.
Like, there was yelling, there's machinery, there's things happening on this farm, like...
It's big enough that you could not notice when someone walks over to a shipping container full of food
yes.
or whatever. Okay. That is where we get to
I'm
the
sure,
part,
though, that silenced rifle was also heard at the church.
Yes, 100%, and we were prepping everything ready to go.
Gord woke up from it, he's like, what was that?
What was that? Oh, I'm dead. Fine.
Yeah.
So clusterfucks ensue, characters move. We've glossed over the part, but it's barely important, where you already said the main points, where they sort of trade. Ronnie gets injected himself.
Ronnie gets the injection they were going to give her. In turn, they take her back to the hospital to get another injection.
Right.
They inject her. It's just Wiley and her, and they're waiting for like 7 o'clock, I believe, for her to die or live.
Because that's it's when you're exactly 22.
Which is also so dumb.
The minute you were born, literally.
Like, what?
Which is a little strange.
What if the birth records were wrong?
No, let's say those aren't always recorded accurately. They either round or it's based on different. And how do you?
It's like based on the clock on the guy's wrist who says
It's a random thing or something.
Regardless, so they're waiting alone. Her and Wiley. Wiley gets bored with the conversation.
We should mention
leaves.
real quick. So like before that has ensued, Adam comes back and he's acting mad weird.
He's acting on their side very much. I had a chance to look at you in this shit, and
you're
I know you.
right. No, I've got to do this. Just tell me how I can help.
Yeah,
and
put this in my car.
Yeah, he says, put this in my car, which is super weird.
He didn't even have a car. And he came in a fucking tunnel.
I know. I actually know that. That's fucking crazy. And he hands it to him, and then he just leaves. But before that, we actually saw Pretty Lake Truth.mp4 being played on like an Apple screen. So he's looking to go viral. I guess this is proof that there's no internet there, because otherwise they would just be communicating or something like that.
They're cut off.
So they have power, but no communications or whatever the hell or something.
I'm pretty sure that was established. Yeah, like walkie-talkies worked, I think, but that was it.
Yeah, which is, makes more sense than how it was during one episode earlier. But yeah, so Adam's gone. Liam does the injection, and he's like, all right, well, I gotta go to that extraction and shit like that, so he leaves. That leaves Wiley pacing around, and like Renee.
Chuck's dead
in the hospital room. Chuck's busy. Chuck's off falling into glass
putting glass
tables
in
and
his
stuff
heart
like
and
that.
whatnot.
Just took a header right into it. So this is when the payment.
So Wiley walks out.
Thing.
Had to have walked out directly past Franny. Doesn't think to say, Franny, that person that killed Gord is right here.
Oh no. So like Franny, Harrison, whatever. Let's go pay our respects.
Yeah.
So they go to the hospital. They run into Wiley, and she injects them all.
Yes.
With this like serum
Well, they say, what's in the box?
She's
it's the cure to the disease you have.
Maybe it's hope. It shrunk my tumor, which just still makes no sense. Why would it do that?
It wouldn't.
Well, but that's like put forth as proof of like, well, it shrunk my tumor, so obviously it'll fix this.
He also,
totally
the only proof you have
disease.
your tumor shrunk is that he said your tumor has shrunk.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like.
Well, so like if we're keeping track of who's been injected or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, you have like 6 people.
It's like Wiley, Renee that has other issues, and then now these 3 people. So it's the weird sister that runs the orphanage now.
Yeah.
Harrison and Franny have all been injected. Adam's immune to start with. Liam has his own injections to sort of protect him, but doesn't really cure it or whatever. So
that's it. So picking up, Harrison and the sister, they leave. They go back to the church, I think.
Well, they're like, she's like, can I just have some time alone with him, please? And they're like,
they agree.
Word, and they leave.
And so she's doing her whatever. Wiley seemingly walked out right past, like left. She's gone. Didn't say anything. Then Renee walks out. What are you doing here? No. I should have killed you when I had the chance. No. Fuck you. Pulls out pistol. Didn't know she had. No.
And this is the classic side-by-side shot, the struggle, the flash from below, and you're not sure who's shot yet.
You're
and then
sure.
One person falls down.
And it's Renee.
That's the goal of that structured
So
shot.
Renee falls
the
down,
trick in the book.
dead apparently. But then when they cut back later, when Wiley comes upon her, it's like a low gut shot. She's not dead. Serum might save her. We also don't know what time it is, if she's already made it past the time or not.
I wondered about that, yeah, and then obviously they have other things going on.
Because it would be just as effective if she made it alive past the time, but then dies, because you can't prove that she lived past the time.
Oh, sure.
So it's the same as if she dies before.
Yeah.
Whether this or not. So now we're ready to reveal the end.
Yeah.
So the car is at the gate at the rendezvous point. The gate opens. The car drives through. We see our doctor in full get up, poison control,
mask on his
hazmat
face,
type of thing.
Control. Shower cap.
Egg covering.
Yeah.
And he's let out. He gets into a van. The van is driving away, and then we see the car. Let me out of here! Let me out of here! Liam is locked in there. It's actually Adam who's in the spot.
And they play some like badass music, and he says, "We've suffered in silence long enough. It's time to make this right."
Yeah.
And it's just driving away or whatever.
So we'll see what happens. It was one guard in the one van, and he sat in the back, not in the front for whatever reason. They do work together, but that's where he sat. There was no, checking for who he was, no blah, blah. No real reason for him to be wearing that hazmat thing, because they don't, like, why would he? He's immune because of his shots. Can he still be carrying it on his person? If it's airborne, what's keeping it in between the chain link fence?
We discussed this even many
It's dumb.
episodes ago, where the whole thing makes no sense, and cloth fibers can have virus in it or something like that.
Yeah, and he's just throwing money back and forth across the border.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Nothing makes sense. Show's dumb. All right, so that's Between.
Show's dumb, yeah.
Season 2, Episode 4.
I'm looking forward to see what happens.
I wish I could say the same.
What's Adam gonna do? He's out now. What's Liam gonna do? He's stuck in the trunk. He can't inject himself in there. What if he gets the virus now? He's gonna have to cure himself. That's totally doable.
Prediction, they'll hear him from the church banging. They'll come get him. Adam will somehow update this thing, or not, because he'll realize it'll make it worse, and he ends up back in Pretty Lake somehow.
Oh, he has to come back to Pretty Lake. There's no other sets built for him to be in.
Well, they would just be Pretty Lake, but they would say it's something else.
They're like the same lab from a different
different angle, just arced up.
That's episode 4. There's 2 more episodes.
Yeah,
there's a lot more that can happen.
2 more episodes.
And I, for one, cannot wait.
Die in a fire.